Good morning, class 7. Before this, we studied about the speed. Now we are going to see the measurement of time. So, how we can measure the time as compared to speed? We'll see. If you did not have a clock, how would you decide that time of the day is? Have you ever wondered how our elders could tell the approximate time of the day by just looking at shadows? How do we measure time interval of a month, a year? So, in ancient time, the persons were measuring the time by the shadow of the sun. When by the sun they were measuring the time, also the year and the month. Our ancients noticed that many events in nature repeat themselves after definite interval of time. For example, they found that the sun rises every day in the morning. The time between one sunrise and the next was called a day. Similarly, a month was measured from one new moon to the next. A year was fixed as the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution of the sun. So, in this way, the ancienters were noticing the time intervals of the day, year, and month. Then a year was fixed at the time taken by the earth. Often we need to measure intervals of time which are much shorter than a day. Clock or watches are perhaps the most common time measuring devices. So nowadays we can measure the time by the clock, or we can identify the time by using clocks. Have you ever wondered how clocks and watches measure time? So you know very well how the clock and measures time, watches and clocks. The working of clock is rather complex, but all of them make use of some periodic motion. So periodic motion also you studied. All the needles are moving from a fixed place in a round. That is called periodic motion. One of the most well-known periodic motion is that a simple pendulum. So simple pendulum you know very well. You studied in 6th also about the pendulum. So I will show you the pendulum. So the picture of pendulum is given to you here. This is the picture of pendulum. A simple pendulum. Different position of the bob of an oscillating simple pendulum. So first we'll see this is a simple pendulum, and this is the different position of the bob. This is known as bob of an oscillating simple pendulum. A simple pendulum consists of a small metallic ball or a piece of stone suspended from rigid stand by a thread. The metallic ball is called the bob of the pendulum. So this is called the bob of the pendulum, and this is the thread or rigid stand suspended to the piece. Then the metallic ball is called the bob of the pendulum. Shows the pendulum at rest in its mean position. So it is in the mean position, rest position. When the bob of the pendulum is released after taking a slightly to one side, it begins to move to and fro. So if we took the bob this side and we leave it, then it will start moving to and fro. The to and fro motion of a simple pendulum is an example of periodic or oscillatory motion. So the movement of the pendulum, simple pendulum, that is the motion known as periodic or an oscillatory motion. The pendulum is said to have complete one oscillation when its bob starting from its metallic position 0 moves to A to B and back to 0. So this is 0. Okay. Then what happens? So one oscillation means what? The pendulum is said to have complete one oscillation when its bob start moving starting from its mean position. This is the mean position 0. It starts move A to B and back to O. This is called one oscillation. This is called one oscillation from here to A to B and B to again 0. That is complete one oscillation. The pendulum also complete one oscillation when it bobs moves from one extreme position, that is A, to the other extreme position B and come back to A. the time taken by the pendulum to compare one oscillation is called its time period. So the bob moving from A to B and again coming back to A, this is one oscillation, and the time taken to complete that one oscillation is known as its time period. So suppose it took 2 seconds, 3 seconds, then it is known as the time period. That seconds are known as the time period, and the pendulum completes one oscillation from A to B and again back B to A. That is one oscillation. And the time taken to complete that one oscillation is called as time period. So here one activity is given to you. In that, set up a simple pendulum as shown in the figure with a thread or string of length nearly 1 meter. Switch off any fan nearby. Let the bob of the pendulum come to the rest at its mean position, that is 0. Mark the mean position of the bob on the floor below it or on the wall behind it. To measure the time period of the pendulum, we will need a stopwatch. However, if a stopwatch is not available, a table clock or a wristwatch can be used. To set the pendulum in motion, gently hold the bob and move it slightly to one side. Make sure that the string attached to the bob is tight while you displace it. Now release the bob from its displaced position. Remember that the bob is not to be pushed when it is released. Note the time on the clock when the bob is at its mean position. Instead of the mean position, you may note the time when the bob is at one of its extreme position. Measure the time of the pendulum takes to complete 20 oscillation. Record your observation in table 13.2. Table is given. You should record the oscillations and the time period taken by the pendulum. The first observation shows in just a sample. Your observation could be different from this. So here it is given 42 seconds for how many oscillations? 20 oscillations. And time period is taken 2.1 second. 42 seconds. 20 oscillation in 42 seconds, and we studied that the time taken by a pendulum to complete one oscillation is called its time period. So 20 oscillation means the 20 oscillation is completed in 42 seconds. Then the time period is given here 2.1 second. So in this way you have to record the time period of a simple pendulum. So length of string is equal to 100 centimeter. Then repeat this activity a few times and record your observation by dividing the time taken for oscillation by 20. Time taken by oscillation 20 by 20 to get time taken for one oscillation. So 20 divided by 20 we have to do, and or the time period of the pendulum. Is the time period of your pendulum nearly the same in all cases? No, it will be different. Note that the slight changes in the initial displacement does not affect the time period of your pendulum. Nowadays, most clocks or watches have an electric circuit with one or more cells. These clocks are called as quartz. So the time measured by quartz clock is much more accurate than that by the clock available earlier. So quartz watch are giving the exact time. Also the stopwatches is very best for measuring the time period or the oscillation. So in this way you will complete that table by doing the activity at home. So we'll stop in next period.